Hello and welcome to this last section of the time management series for children. Now let's get practical. This is the time you and I will work together to create a plan for your holiday so that you have a schedule to work with and the days will not just come by without you wondering how you spent them. Okay, so I will quickly share with you who inspired this idea. In fact, it was a child who walked into my office and said, Mr. Leke, the holiday is here. I want to make better use of it. Can you teach me how to come up with a plan, to manage my time better? And so what I shared with him is what I'm about to share with you. So we'll start first of all by coming up with a list of things you would like to achieve during this holiday. Depending on the length of time you have for the holiday, if you have 1 week holiday, then it's best to come up with maximum 3 things. If you have 2 weeks, maybe about five. If you have more, then you can accommodate a lot more time. So when we get to the point of priority, you'll even know more which ones you should prioritize and which ones you should discard. You may not achieve everything in every holiday. You can leave some things for later, but make sure that you put things in order of priority. So we'll get there. Let's move one step at a time. All right. So I have the next screen before you. This is my Jamboard. We will be using this I will be writing on the screen. So I expect you to get your pen and paper. You should write as well. All right. Yeah, just tested it. My Jamboard is working. Okay, so get a pen and a paper. If you don't have it with you already, you can pause this video, get a pen and paper. If you do, then let's rock and roll. So first of all, I'd like you to come up with a list of things. So say you perhaps, I mean, it is a holiday, so you definitely will be expecting to resume school in a couple of weeks. So you may decide that first thing you want to do is prepare for the next term, depending on your most difficult subjects. I think you should pay attention to your most difficult subjects and then maybe a little time on your favorite subjects. Okay, but maybe not the difficult ones, perhaps the most important subjects that you will be taking in the next term. So I know for many students, mathematics is very important. In fact, for all students, math is important, and English creative writing is perhaps the most difficult thing. So we can start by saying you will study maths and creative writing ahead of next term or half term, depending on what holiday you have. Number two, you could determine that the next thing you'd like to achieve during this holiday is probably play football with friends. That's fine. It's a goal. It's fine. You can put it down. Okay. You may decide that the third thing you'd like to achieve, for instance, the young man mentioned that he would like to practice past questions for his IGCSE exams. His IGCSE. Okay. The E is already exams. All right. Next, he also said he wanted to learn Monopoly. So, I mean, it's his decision. You can come up with anything else. He doesn't have to follow this pattern. Number five, he also said something about learning a particular course on Udemy. So learn Udemy course. It might be something else. You might say you want to learn coding or you want to learn a particular handcraft. It's up to you. All right. And next, he says he wants to spend time with his siblings and family. It was a Christmas holiday, so he decided he'd like to spend time with cousins when they come around and all that. So these are 6 things that I have on the screen. For you, you might have more. It's fine. That's okay as well. But like I said, you have to pay attention to the specific holiday, the amount of time that you have. This my football here doesn't look like football. It's like what I can pronounce. Let me just ball. Okay. So now that we have written the 6 things down, the next thing to consider is which ones are most important? So we can work with this to say, of course, studying ahead of the next term is important. Not only is it important, it's in fact urgent because you will be resuming school in a couple of weeks' time and it's going to face you. So since it is important, we'll put an A on it to say it is a high priority item. It is very important. Okay, let's find other high priority items here. Studying past questions for IGCSE, it may not be urgent, especially because the IGCSE exams of is still going to hold. Why do I keep saying IGCSE exam? Just IGCSE. The IGCSE is going to hold in about 6 months' time, so it's not urgent yet, but it is important. So it's also a priority A item. Let's see what else can be priority A. Spending time with family. Yeah, it is priority A. You definitely want to spend time with your family. Uh, you want to ensure that your life is not just about work, 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 work. You'd also like to bond with family. Life is about community. Okay, so these are priority A items. Now, priority B items are not as important as priority A. So we would say, let's say, learn Monopoly. Learn Monopoly is priority B item, meaning if he doesn't get to do it before the holiday ends, nothing much will be affected. Okay, then even the Udemy course is not a priority A item, depending on the course. For him, it's just he wants to learn more about time management, and I mean, he was already learning it by spending time with me in my office. So we ended up making it a priority B item. For you, whatever you put here, if it was coding, for instance, it might be a priority A item for you. Especially if it's something very important that you're learning towards what you want to become in the future. So you can make that a priority A item. Okay, and then priority C or category C is definitely if I don't get to do it at all, nothing much will be affected. So we can put play football with friends as a priority C item. Say it's if I don't get to play football with friends, there are other ways we can catch up. We can talk on the phone, I mean, and even if we're not friends, we can't be friends for life. We'll all go our separate ways eventually. So it's very possible that they may not even be the best friends for me just yet. By the time I do very well in my study of math, I'm practicing my GCSE and I'm making straight A's. I spending time with my family and siblings. I may begin to realize that my priorities are changing from what these friends of mine consider their priorities, and so we move on. We move on with life. So things like that happen. So we just make that a category C priority item. All right. Now that we have listed our 6 things to achieve and put them in categories of priorities, the next thing is we need to set blocks of time for these things. Okay. So when we're setting blocks of time for them, we would definitely, I'm sure you guessed right. We definitely would pay attention to the priority items. All the priority items have to fit first. So these are the big blocks that have to fit into the jar first before we then consider the B items and then the C. So let's move to the next page. On the next page, this is page 2 now, we will have our time spelled out. Of course, when you when you wake up in the morning, you want to determine when you wake up. So you have to have a specific time to wake up. Don't make it flexible. Don't say, I wake up anytime that I want. No, I think you should have a specific bedtime and a specific wake up time. So I said something. In fact, I put up a post on Instagram a couple of months back to say the best way to start a good day is to end a previous day early. So go to bed early. The younger you are, the more time you need to spend sleeping. So if you're a teenager, then I would recommend that you sleep as early as 10 p.m. If you're planning to wake up at 5 a.m., for instance, that gives you about 7 hours of sleep. In fact, that's too small. 7 hours is actually too small for a teenager. You should have 8 hours of sleep. So 10 to 6. So 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is good for you. 8 hours of sleep. If you're younger, you should sleep much longer. You should be in bed between 8 and 9 p.m. You should already be in bed. Okay. So the younger you are, the more time you need to spend sleeping. So let me assume that 10 p.m. is just fine for most people. I mean, it's a holiday. You probably want to spend some time with family members, maybe do a late night movie, but once it's 10 p.m., you should be in bed. Okay, so let's say bedtime is 10 p.m., so we can block that out somewhere here to say bedtime, 10 p.m. No. I'll just write it as 10 p.m. Okay, and then let me divide this. I have my divider here. All right, so wake up time is 5 a.m. or rather, let's say 6 a.m. Okay, so 6 a.m. is wake up time. So here you say wake up. Now, when you wake up, if you're like me, I am a very tardy wake up person. I don't jump out of bed. I might wake up at 6 a.m., but take another 10 to 15 minutes to actually be alert. So you just say wake up time at 6 a.m. and then you probably would say limber up. So 6 a.m. to 6:15 a.m. Limber up means, you know, exercise. Get up, move around, just do something to ensure that you're fully alert. Okay. And from 6:15 to 6:45 a.m., want to spend time with God. I mean, the best way to start my day is to talk to God, to spend time with God, pray, study the Word of God. It's entirely up to you what exactly you do. Um, I will do another video to show you how exactly to make the most of your time with God. But for now, let's just leave it at that. Spend time with God. Okay, next, from this time, from 6:45 to let's say about 7:30 a.m., you probably want to wash up. Okay, I don't expect you to have breakfast before washing up anyway. Okay, and then from 7:30 to about 8:30 a.m., you probably want to do some chores. Um, like do some chores, help around in the kitchen, help around cleaning the house, prepare breakfast and all of that. And I mean, during the holiday, many children don't have early breakfast anyway. So let's say that by 9:30, you should be done having breakfast and bonding with family. That's if many people in the family are early risers. Okay. And so from 9:30 is when we will begin to do the proper work. So if you are like me, I am a morning person. My most creative times are actually in the morning time. In fact, this video has been recorded in the morning time because that's the best time for me to actually do some teaching, some thinking, and some creative work. So you therefore, if you are like me, yes, you should do that. You are more of an afternoon person, make sure that your priority A items, much of them fit during the afternoon. If you are a late night person, then your priority item should fit in the late night. So just ensure that your most creative time of the day is when you're doing your most creative work. Okay, so because I am a morning person, and I want to believe many children are, especially during this holiday, you want to make the most of the morning time. So you can have from 9:30 to, let me make that another color to indicate that it is a priority A item. So from 9:30, so what priority A item do we want to fix here? Let's say the first thing is study math. I mean, especially studying math, the best time to study mathematics is in the morning time. Okay, so study math and creative writing. So you could decide that you'll spend one day studying mathematics, the next day studying creative writing, or you could do both. It's entirely up to you. But I think you should give at least 2 hours to study. Okay, so from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m., you will be studying, whether it's math or creative writing. You determine, you can alternate it. Monday for math, Tuesday for creative writing, and so on. All right. So after doing 2 full hours of deep thinking, deep work, I think you should give yourself a break. especially if you achieve something significant. Yeah, you should reward yourself. Reward yourself with something relaxing for about an hour. So let's say till 12:30 p.m. You can then spend time with family or play football. Okay. It's or maybe play a game, play a computer game, or just relax. Okay. So after doing that till 12:30, it's time to get back to another priority A item. Let's see what priority item is next. Practice your past questions for IGCSE. Okay, so we come here for another 2 hours. So from 12:30 to 2:30, that's to 2:30 p.m. Practice IGCSE. All right, so you practice IGCSE to till 2:30 p.m. And after another serious mental work, I think you should reward yourself to a break. Give yourself a break. All right, so 2:30 p.m. I think afternoon time is probably a very good time to go out and play football. It may, but it's probably not something you should do every day. I mean, I don't expect you to play football every day. Um, you may then decide, okay, you will alternate it to some days. So from let's say from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. Um, rather than so you then say football stroke family time. All right. So after that, usually by 4:30, daddy's home, mommy's home. It's another time for evening chores. Obviously, yes. Then around this time too, you should have lunch as well. So plan your lunch as well around that period. Okay. So by 4:30, daddy's home, mommy's home, everybody's home. It's probably the evening routine. So you can then say evening routine from 4:30. So we can say 4:30 till about 8 p.m. thereabouts. So till 8 p.m. Probably want to help in the kitchen and all that stuff. So you can just say evening routine, right? Okay. Then from 8 p.m. we also need to fix the next priority A item, which is, okay, we already did that. Time with siblings is done. So next we have to put a priority B item, learn Monopoly or learn a coding activity. Okay, so next, in fact, you could decide that the football time or family time can also alternate with learning one of these things, whether it's Monopoly or coding. But from 8 p.m., you remember your bedtime is 10 p.m. Put it here, bedtime 10 p.m. Okay, so from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., probably want to do Monopoly, and I mean, Monopoly is never fun playing alone, or chess or Scrabble, whichever one you want to learn. So you probably want to put that as part of the evening routine. I mean, people are still awake at this time, so you're playing with your family, you're playing with your friends and stuff like that. Okay, till about 9 p.m. And then from 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., you may then decide, or perhaps I should alternate this rather than, see, rather than play Monopoly, you could decide that you want to do some coding or Udemy. You okay? Then by this time, you want to then do your Monopoly. Okay, so this 9:30 to 10 p.m. then gives you a short, just a buffer, a slight break to say, you know what, I'm gradually winding down before bedtime. So because you know that by 10 p.m. you should be in bed. So perhaps you want to freshen up, you want to relax, you want to rest, you want to, just wind down or just watch a short movie or something like that. It's entirely up to you. So with this, you have a plan. You have a plan. Now, if you do have a phone or a Chromebook or a device, you could decide to put all of these into a scheduler, like I had shared previously, put everything in scheduler so that at certain times you are being alerted. A reminder is blaring on your phone or something you carry around to say, yes, it's time for you to spend time with God. It's time for you to study math. It's time for you to practice the Udemy course. It's time for you to play football, watch football, play Monopoly. Reminders are usually helpful. So with those reminders, you certainly will not miss out on what you're supposed to do for time. But like I said, I'm sure you have learned from this. This might look a bit rough, but what you will come up with might even be better. So come up with a plan, a schedule, and have it scheduled for you. Some of the children who don't have devices may then write this out or type it out, print it, or write it on a plain A4 paper, just as I have on the screen here, and paste it on your wall so that you are reminded. Okay, I wake up at 6 a.m. I have 15 minutes to make sure that I'm fully alert. I spend time with God for another 30 minutes. 30 minutes after, or 45 minutes after that, I should be done washing up, do my chores for an hour, have breakfast, or assist in the house. Then it's time for me to study math for 2 hours. It's time for me to spend time with my family, or relax, unwind, watch a movie. Just do something, ensure that I'm disciplining myself. And for another 2 hours, I'm practicing for an examination. Another 2 hours, I alternate between playing football or spending time with family or playing Monopoly or learning a Udemy course. I just want to ensure that I give myself a reward after performing a mental activity. Okay, so I believe this has been very helpful for you. Okay, should you have any other questions or you need me to support you one-on-one, please feel free to reach out to me. You can simply send me a mail. leke@penspeakers.com is my email address, or you can reach out to me on my various social media handles. I am at Amoleke on all these platforms. All right, have fun and see you in the level of success. Goodbye.